What's going on, y'all? This is Jason. I wanted to make a little video about talking about how to fix this 97 Camaro steering wheel. Okay, so this is what the texture is supposed to be like on the steering wheel. Let's see, we have the guts here. We have all the components for, for the horn. And I believe, let's see, this is for the horn. Maybe this is a ground. And this is where the power comes out. There's a little spring that comes through there. And the airbag mounts in here. Okay, so obviously this is the bottom. It's taken less of a beating. There's a little bit right there. This is the original steering wheel that come out of this 97 Camaro. It looks a little worse here, and a little worse. Y'all, I haven't abused this car. Let's see, whenever I got it, I got it maybe 14 years ago. Okay, and this is a 97. So, and we're at 2023. You can tell this really looks bad. So, how do you fix it? Well, the car was in the shop this past year. I was having a lot of work done. And so in the course of some of the things, I know this is a nitpicky thing. It really didn't matter. The car would crank fine, but I was worried that there might be a, at some point I might have a issue with the VATs. But my key would come out easily after you crank it. I know that happens with a lot of cars, but it didn't have a lot of this. It wasn't the original ignition cylinder that was in here. It was like a replacement, and the same shop that put this one in, I'm not sure if they put this one in or if the dealership did it many years ago. But the key didn't have like a real rigid teeth to it to start with. So they had smoothed down pretty easy, and the key would slide right out after the car was cranked. So I wanted to do something about that, just like a little preventative measure. I have had some issues with some lock cylinders in the past. Hey, if you're gonna have an older vehicle, you got to take care of it, unless you want to end up stranded or something. And so what I did, I said, hey, while this car's in the shop, I gave them a list of things to do, and I was like, replace this too. And well, when they replaced it, of course you got to pull the steering wheel off first. So they use a puller, right? And so the puller goes into these holes. Well, actually, I believe this goes on, and then there's a nut that holds it on, right? And then you've got a puller that goes into these holes. And if I remember correctly, the end of the steering shaft kind of has a little dimple in it, and there's a thing that goes against it. Maybe there's a bolt in the middle, and you go to cranking down on it, and it will pull the steering wheel off. Well, something happened that nobody was expecting. I thought these were one piece. Well, this piece is like injection molded. Not injection molded, but that's what you do with plastic. Anyway, this is a separate piece than the whole base of the steering wheel. It was like riveted in. If you'll see here, here's one of the rivets, and I believe this is the other rivet. Well, it pulled off the steering wheel, and so therefore we had a problem. So they called me and told me what was going on with the steering wheel, and they said they could attempt to weld it back together, but they didn't know how well it would last, being that this piece was cast. And I'm sure both pieces are cast, but to weld two cast pieces together, and it may be two different type materials. See, obviously this has got a little rust, so this is this is going to be it's going to have carbon in it. It's going to be steel. And so what is the other piece made out of? Is it steel also? It's got some some rust marks on it. But did that come off of the steering column, or is that rust on it? This is, I believe this is zinc plated. But anyway, the point of it is this thing pulled off, the rivets broke, and I had a problem with the steering wheel. And he said, hey man, your steering wheel is pretty beat up. If you were ever going to replace your steering wheel, now's the time to do it. Or I can attempt to weld this thing together, and that may get you by for a while. So, the way the shop is that I use, they've got certain sources that they use for buying parts. They won't shop on eBay like I will. You know, I'll go to all kind of other websites and things like that looking for car parts, which, you know, I'm pretty sure most car shops are like that too. So, you know, they don't have to deal with all kind of other accounts and everything that they've got to worry about sending parts back to if it's just not right. So what I did is I took a stab at it, and I shopped on eBay, and I found me a leather wrapped steering wheel for my 97 Camaro. This obviously didn't come out of a base model. It's got a little bit of aging right in here. This side looks real good. The leather itself, maybe I've got one little blemish right here, one little spot right there. Well, other than that, man, this thing looks great. I don't remember what I paid for it right offhand. I'll look at my eBay history, that way I can tell you. At least I'll put a screenshot of what I paid for it. But obviously they just took my airbag out of it, my original, and stuck it in this one, and everything worked great. It's kind of funny though, once you get used to driving with the sponginess or more grippiness of one of these foam steering wheels, to go to a slick leather one, and you kind of have to grip it a little bit harder. It's quite a change. I like the way it feels. It's a little bit smaller, not as big, but it's different. I like it. I think it looks better. So that worked out nicely for a reasonable price too. I'm pretty sure I paid under $200. Whatever it was, I was watching it on eBay, and they ended up sending me an offer, and I jumped on that offer, or vice versa. I may have offered them something. I don't know. But hey y'all, thanks for watching this video. There are good replacement original parts out there. We just get lucky for them sometimes. I guess we find some of these garage kept cars, and we're able to salvage some parts off it. I wish I had this car under a cover, because unfortunately this thing gets cooked in the sunlight. I need to get me some sort of something to put in the window to block some sunlight off this upper dash pad, because those can be expensive. So thanks for watching this video about replacing my steering wheel. Sometimes some good parts can be found out there. Sometimes there's some junk out there. Y'all be careful when you're shopping on buying used parts. Sometimes you can get some junk. That has happened to me before, and just be cautious. But there is good stuff out there. Sometimes there are some good sellers. I have seen some bad deals on some of these, Camaro pages on Facebook and stuff. People ripping people off. So I'm not, sometimes that stuff happens on Marketplace too. But there's also some good folks out there. You just got to be cautious. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching this video. I hope you have a good day. Have a good weekend. Later, y'all.